some of them the most famous high-speed corners in Formula One. The Formula One car covers a mile in just 20 seconds around here, and this is one of the most exciting sections here, the Becketts complex.
Out for Sauber.
We do see them changing strategy, of course, saying go for a fuel load in free practice and perhaps put a little bit more in for qualifying, knowing they're compromised with an early slot. Massa 2.
Friesacker's had turn-in understeer and then to power oversteer on the exit. The back of the car's been threatening to break away in the high-speed corners, Martin. They changed the rear suspension. They'd rather give him understeer and have him not fly off the road.
Year has been blighted by retirement, 6 retirements from the Grand Prix. Alba's on 1 points finish, of course, for both the drivers at Indianapolis, where only 6 cars took part. Because Alonso will be going out last here, Raikkonen second to last. The conditions will be ideal at that point, but from Raikkonen has got to take a 10-place drop on the grid, so he needs...
And they're really struggling away, aren't they, in terms of pace for some reason with the new aerodynamic pieces, such that my understanding is Heidfeld's car is fully to the previous specification.
Where he was injured during the French Grand Prix, that just overheated in the cockpit. Look at the speed through the Becketts complex. 156 the early part of it, carrying over 130 through the middle of it, and then out onto the hangar straight. One of the most scintillating moments in any of Formula One racetrack. And the air horns going, supporting him around the track.
Oh, and another man just to have to take a tiny, tiny lift into there. And the front of the car working okay so far. A little bit of understeer through the exit. He'll have to just delay getting on the throttle.
On race day in France last weekend, it just was not there after Michael Schumacher stuck the car third on the grid. And Rubens Barrichello into his lap.
They only arrived this morning because they were held up in customs on their way from Switzerland, which is weird. I'm not quite sure what customs officers thought they were going to hide in there or something. But anyway, they only arrived this morning.
And in the assumption that BMW could, or if they can contractually take Heidfeld with them, you've got to assume there may be only one slot left for Villeneuve and Massa. That's his outlap. So he's pretty much on it, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly got to push hard on the outlap to get the temperature into the tyres. Different teams have been experiencing that problem. This is only the 4th time this season. Yeah, here's Jarno Trulli. He's been pretty sensational, particularly in qualifying this season. And races too. 6 points finishes, 3 of which on the podium, and 3 lost podiums, things like the brake failure.
Again, another driver who's not really had chance to show us anything. He's really coming on strong now, though, isn't he? But an 8.5 if you look at the first half season.
Fine, whatever happens here, he's going to have to go 10 places back on the grid. Same scenario as the French Grand Prix last weekend. He hangs it all out because he wants to be as far up the grid as he possibly can be. He'll want to see P1 at the end of this.
And so is this man, Fernando Alonso. He's been supreme. He's managed to keep himself in the hunt at every kind of racetrack all over the world that we've been so far this year.